So Sukdev Goswami is very happy that Parishad Maharaj has asked him a question that what a person has to do who is about to die, what he has to chant, what he has to remember, and what he has to do, and what he is not got to do. That's more important. क्या नहीं करना चाहिए. So when these questions were asked, Parishad Maharaj is telling how important it is that one remembers the Lord. And you know, the ultimate success for a human being is remembering God at the time of death. Ante Narayana Smriti. So अंत में नारायण का स्मृति जो कर लेता है, he achieves the biggest benefit. So can anyone read verse number 18? Sorry, 8, verse number 8. Yeah.
At the end of the Dwapar Yuga, I studied this great supplement of Vedic literature named Srimad Bhagavatam, which is equal to all the Vedas from my father, Srila Dvaipayana Vyasadeva.
Next verse.
O saintly king, I was certainly situated perfectly in transcendental, yet I was still attracted by the deep delineation of the pastimes of the Lord, which is who is described by enlightened verses.
Continue. Purport.
The absolute truth is realized at the first instance as the impersonal Brahman by the philosophical speculation, and later as the super soul by further progress of transcendental knowledge. But if, by the grace of the Lord, an impersonalist is enlightened by the superior statements of Srimad Bhagavatam, he is also converted into transcendental devotee of the personality of Godhead. With a poor fund of knowledge, he cannot adjust to the idea of the personality of the absolute truth, and therefore the personal activities of the Lord are deplored by the less intelligent impersonalist, but reason and argument, together with the transcendental process of approaching the absolute truth, help even the staunch impersonalist to become attracted by the personal activities of the Lord.
Okay. Now let us have a background of why all this is being mentioned by Sukdev Goswami as well as Buddhists. First and foremost, Sukdev Goswami is saying, I have learned this Srimad Bhagavatam from my father, Vyasdev. And then in the next verse he is saying, I was, the nice wording is very nice. Oh saintly king, I was certainly situated in perfect in transcendence. Here this refers to Brahmavad. Who is situated in transcendence means what? Brahmavad mein situated hai. He was a Brahmavadi. He was not a Sakarvadi. Then, yet I was still attracted. Mind you, Brahmavad people consider themselves as superior. They are situated in Brahman. And I still was still attracted by the delineation of the pastimes of the Lord, who is described by enlightened verses. So, what is Brahmavad? Let's understand that first before we go ahead. What is Brahmavad? One should know. Aham Brahmasmi, okay, but what does that, what is the philosophy of Brahmavad? The people get confused between Mayavad and Brahmavad. That is a very, tricky science. You have to understand this. What is Brahmavad and what is Mayavad? And what is Sakarvad? What we are into is Sakarvad, wherein we do idol worship, or rather we presume, or we not just presume, we accept that Lord has got a form. We have a form. Whereas there are many religions in India which talks about not just light. Everything is Brahman. Everything is Brahman. which is not wrong, which is not wrong, it is justified.
It could be one platform that is not the last ladder.
No, they are come to a level of understanding that Lord is formless, or rather, he cannot be defined in any one single form. For example, even you go to Muslims, the Muslims will also say, so they go to a level that, okay, why they talk about Lord in the form of light? Lord, they say Lord is in the form of light. No, Lord is not just in the form of light. The aura itself is so strong that you can't understand who is Lord and how is Lord. Secondly, the biggest challenge is for them, God is not having a finite shape, a human shape. We all consider like God is either in the 200 form or in the 400 form. Lord has already proved in the nourishing avatar that I do not have a distinctive shape. You cannot consider me Matsya avatar. It is in a shape, but it is not in the shape in which you are considering me. Varaha avatar is also a shape, but it is not in the shape in which you are considering me. So Lord, yes, that is why Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavan iti Shabdate. Why we are saying this? You have to understand that Bhagavan, अभी कहते हैं ना पुण्य गंधा पृथ्वीम च, I am the smell in the earth. हम लोग सब बारिश जब first rain comes, get a nice smell, fragrance of the earth getting wet. So this is even that fragrance, I am that. So you have to understand, Lord is saying in the Bhagavad Gita also, many things which are shapeless, which are formless. Then he is saying, hey, I am having form. And he shows this 400 form to Vishnu, Arjuna in the 11th Adhyaya. In the 11th chapter, he shows the Vishwarup, which is more confusing to Arjuna. That is why, in one line to sum it up, it is like saying, we all know God is great, but we all don't understand how great God is. एक लाइन में बोल रहे हैं, I am everything. मत प्रतन्मांचित किंचित असित जनय मयि सर्वम इदं प्रोक्तम सूत्रे मणगैव. Everything is handled by me. All the planets are standing in its place because of me. So where is the shape in that? Aham sarvasya prabhavo. I am expanding myself in everything, but I am controlling everything. How? Well, this is like two contradictory things. The problem, as I mentioned earlier, we all bring him to our perspective. I am in my office means I am in the office. I cannot be in the house. But Lord is saying, I am in the house also, I am in the office also, I am in the beach also, I am in the theater also, I am in the mall also, I am in the hotel also. Wherever you see, I am there. How can such a person be there? The problem is we can't conceive, we cannot bring him, we cannot elevate ourselves to his level. We have to see from our perspective. नहीं यार ये theory गलत है, कुछ भी बकवास है. नहीं, it's not true, it's not wrong. It is, we are lacking the insight. And that is what in that stage was Shukdev Goswami. And then Shukdev Goswami was wandering around. There are two nice verses. I'll just take out those verses and give it to you. Vyasdev was, we read in the first canto, right? Vyasdev went running behind Shukdev Goswami, and Shukdev Goswami did not turn back also. The voice was echoing in the trees, but he just went away and did not look at them. And that is where those ladies were, girls were taking bath and they covered them. So that whole story to discuss. So Sukdev Goswami, when he was in the forest, he was thinking everything is Brahman, in the form of Brahman. 4 Kumaras, Sanak, Sanatan, Sanat Kumar, those 4 Kumaras, even they were Brahmavadis. But They do not deride God's existence in Vaikuntha. That is why they went to Vaikuntha, where the Jaya Vijaya story happened. Where the two gatekeepers of sing, where the smell of the tulsi leaf of the Lord's feet comes. So God may, to some, show himself as Brahmavad, to someone as Sakarvad. This is possible. But there is another philosophy in between, and which is called as Mayavad. They are the most confused people. उनसे बोला मायावाद से बच के रहना. And they are the people who create all the, what do you say, confusion and problems. And what is that? What is Mayavad?
We are also God, but because of some issues or
We are under Maya. We are covered under Maya. The minute the Maya opens up,
we will not be God.
I will also become God, you will also become God, we all will be God. Yes. Am Brahmasmi is Mayavadi philosophy, and the problem is, I am Brahman. Yes, we are a fragmental part of God, but at no point we can become equal to understand this, simple. Now let's say a king or a big businessman, uske bete hai. Now will you call the beta same in the same caliber or in the same category as his father was? Father is father, son is son. Similarly, God is our father. We are all his children. We are his anshas, fragmental parts. So we are always going to remain Anu. And Lord is Vibhu. He is the source. Because Lord has already been defined as kya? What is that shloka? Yoga में नहीं हाँ no ओम पूर्णमदम पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेव अवशिष्यते. Lord is saying, I am Purna. That is most important. Om Purnam eva adaya Purnameva avashishyate. What remains? He is Purna, Lord is Purna. पूर्ण में से जो निकला वो भी पूर्ण है, बट उसको तुम इक्वल नहीं बोल सकते. It is like, for example, if you are having some health issues, you are prescribed for some blood test. तो आपका बॉडी में से कितना ब्लड निकालता है? 1 ml, 2 ml, 5 ml मैक्स. पूरा बॉडी का पूरा खून पंप में डाल के निकालता नहीं. एंड दैट 2 ml, what is there in your entire body, whatever infection is there in your entire body is checked by that 1 ml, or not even 2 ml, 1 drop from that is taken and checked. That means what is there in that 1 drop is the same thing there in your body. But can you consider that 1 drop to be equal to your blood in the body? That is how you have to understand that God is विभु. We are, हम लोग हमेशा अणु ही रहेंगे, कभी विभु नहीं बने. क्यों नहीं बन सकते? Because we are his fragmental parts. उनमें से निकले हैं हम लोग, और हमारा काम क्या है? Go back to him or be with him. Do his seva, do his service. Simple. So this is how our Shukdev Goswami, what is the pattern? No. Shukdev Goswami talks about, okay. Shukdev Goswami talks about he was a transcendentalist. From that, he was attracted to Lord's personal form, and that is what he is saying. So you have to understand. So has he changed branches? कि उसने पार्टी छोड़ के दूसरा पार्टी ब्रह्मवादी टू साकारवादी? नहीं. He has not come. Then what has happened? Advanced, okay. You may call it advanced. Both are parallel, When you're reading Bhagavatam, when you're reading Bhagavad Gita, Lord is showing his Brahman form also, Lord is showing his Sakar form also. So you cannot say this is superior, this is better. It is a completion. It is completion. It's like, let's say our Dr. Saab is there. When you go and meet him in the dispensary or in his clinic, he'll be with his gown and sitting with his knife and operating this and that. And the same person might be in the morning, will sit with his harmonium and do riyas. So which person you will consider as him? As per the mood, as per the requirement. Morning there is no need of operation, he will sit and play the music. Whereas when there is a need of the operation, he will wear that gown and take the knife and do the operation. Similarly, God is both in the Brahman form as well as in the personal form. In the personal form, he can interact with his devotees. In the Brahman form, he can sustain this whole world. अगर ब्रह्मन फॉर्म नहीं रहेगा, he cannot sustain. How will he sustain? Through the Brahman form, he sustains the whole world. जैसे Lord, he says, I am the taste in water, I am the smell in the earth, I am the power of the powerful. He mentions all this. That means what? By becoming that, he is able to Dharayamaham Ojasaha. I am taking care of all the planets. I am holding all the planets. He is saying all this because he is in the Brahman form also. See, it's the perspective in which what you look at. I'll tell you a small story. एक बार एकनाथ जी, saint of Maharashtra, he has written a very nice bhashya. रामायण रहस्य बोल के बहुत अच्छा किताब है. So in that he writes, he speaks, he reads the entire Ramayana in that. And there, who is listening to that? Lord himself. So Lord Rama, Sita Mata, Hanuman, everyone comes and he is reciting to them only the Ramayana. ठीक है. तो सुंदर कांड का वो प्रसंग आया जहाँ पे हनुमान जी was also present, सीता मैया was also present in सुंदरकांड अशोक वाटिका. तभी एकनाथ जी कह रहे हैं कि भाई उस अशोक वाटिका में फूल जो थे वो सफेद रंग के थे. Immediately Sita Maiya says, how can you say this? This is wrong. I was there and the flowers were in blue color. Hanuman ji bole, sorry, again you made a mistake. It was in, flowers was in red color. परेशान, ब्लू कलर बोल रहा है, रेड कलर बोल रहा है. एकनाथ जी बोल रहे हैं, आई एम स्टिकिंग टू माय वर्ड्स. लॉर्ड वो, आई मीन द फ्लावर्स वेर व्हाइट. आई कुड, दैट्स व्हाट आई कुड सी, परसीव. Immediately Ramchandra ji was called. He was sitting there. Sir, you have to give justice. I'm just saying, I don't want to give justice. तो मैं जस्टिस दूंगा किसी एक के साइड पे दूंगा तो बाकी दो जन नाराज हो जाएंगे. बिकॉज यहाँ पे एकनाथ जी हैं, हनुमान जी हैं और सीता मैया, और तीनों का कलर अलग है. नहीं नहीं नहीं, आप जो बोले वो फाइनल. Instead, the flower was white color only. But Sita Maya was habited to see me everywhere. That is why she could see it is blue color. And Hanumanji was angry, looking at all the torture which was being done to Sita Maya. That is why he saw even the white color as red, because उसकी आंखें लाल हो गई थी. It's a perspective look, or the bhava, the love and affection with which. Just imagine war. The Mahabharata war has started. The bugle has been sung. Already the bugle has been blown, and the war is about to start. Just imagine. In today's date also, it's impossible. कोई रथ को लेके बीच में जाके खड़ा रहेगा. अर्जुन is telling ना, भाई उभय और सोने और मध्य दोनों सेना के बीच में मेरा खड़ा करो रथ को, देखना है कौन है वो जो मेरे से लड़ना चाहता है. Immediately Krishna says, oh very good, you want to see, I'll take you. He takes it. And बीच बराबर रथ के बीच में लाके, दोनों सेना के बीच में लाके, ज्योतिसार वो जगह है, वो झाड़ अभी भी है, वो झाड़ के नीचे जाके खड़ा कर. और वहां खड़ा रह के क्या किया? 45 मिनट्स प्रवचन दिया. कौन सा दिया? भगवत गीता. He gave the Bhagavad Gita pravachan for 45 minutes. Why? What is the purpose? War हो रहा है, action time है यार. It is not the time for pravachan. Just imagine, I go India Pakistan border. The war is about to start. Hey, रुको, मैं कथा देता हूँ, रुको. The bomb will fall on my head only. So the point is, this is what is God. This is what is God. And please understand, whatever actions we do, whatever we do, greatness of God, you have to understand that God is superior. I'll tell you one small incident. Just remember, it's a little offbeat to the context to what it is we are discussing. Now, Hanumanji went, destroyed the entire Lanka. Forget about Lanka, that Ashok Vatika and पूरा गार्डन उजाड़ दिया, फल कम फेंका ज्यादा, ऑल दैट स्टफ. उन पे कोई केस केस दर्ज हुआ क्या? टेक्निकली होना चाहिए ना. फॉर ऑल द आर्सन लूट व्हाट ही डिड, फॉर ऑल किलिंग सो मेनी राक्षसस, अगेन ही came back, and not only that, the best joke is यहाँ के मधुवन भी उजाड़ दिया. While coming back, ये मधुवन था, सुग्रीव का पर्सनल गार्डन, वो भी उजाड़. एंड रामचंद्र जी डिड नॉट स्कोल्ड हिम. हाँ बोला था रामचंद्र जी ने बगीचा उजाड़ दे, राक्षसों को मार. He had not given any instruction. And he was clean chit, आके बैठे. तो आचार्य से very nicely, रामचंद्र जी first asked जामवन, आप गए थे क्या हनुमान जी के साथ, या आप जाके है सीता को? जानू, सॉरी, आई एम टू ओल्ड फॉर दैट, आई कैन नॉट गो. सो आई सेंट हनुमान, एंड हनुमान वाज द मेन कैंडिडेट डिड. तो ही सेड, हनुमान आपने क्या क्या किया? ही सेड, मैंने कुछ नहीं किया, जो भी किया आपने किया. व्हाट इज से? मैंने कुछ नहीं, आपने जो करवाया मुझसे, मैंने वो किया. So here the question arises, or the point arises is, for all the things, if he had sent one word, just said one word that I have done it, मैंने किया है, immediately karma reactions would start. That is why law of karma is very integrated. He said, I did not do, you made me do. आपने करवाया, तो मैंने आपका कहने पे मैंने किया है. So what happened? No karma reactions were applicable to him. That's why no case दर्ज. So यहाँ एक क्वेश्चन उठता है, फिर प्रिय माता जी के दिन में उठा रही, मतलब कुछ भी उटपटांग करूं और भगवान आपने करवाया. शिव, यस प्रभु जी, ये मेरे मन में भी एक क्वेश्चन है. And Chandrakant, yes. I mean, this is a question which everyone would raise. In everyone's. That means, can I also do any nonsense and I say, भगवान आपने करवाया? तो आचार्यगण यहाँ पे कहते हैं, it is said very nicely, if you are really surrendered, if you really are surrendered, it's a beautiful doha, just skipping out of my mind. मन क्रम वचन छाड़ी चतुराई, भजत राम, नहीं, द सेकंड लाइन फॉरगेटिंग. आपको चतुराई छोड़ के जो आदमी मन क्रम वचन से भगवान की पूजा करता है, उसको भगवान की कृपा, for him he gets God's mercy, and for him there is no karma reaction. It is said, Acharyas say, one who does any action, and if he is truly a devotee, he is truly surrendered to God, he will not do any wrong activity. He will not do a wrong activity. गलत कार्य वो नहीं करेगा. क्यों? उसको मालूम है सत्मार्ग क्या है. What is to be done and what is not to be done. He is very much clear. This is the power of devotion. Devotion gives you the idea of what to do and what not to do. And such a person will never fall in that trap. Mother, you will have to open it again. And हाँ ता मन कर्म वचन ताजी नहीं हाँ भजत कृपा कर ही रघुराई, दैट इज मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट. जो मन क्रम वचन से छाड़ी चतुराई, चतुराई छोड़ देगा, उस पे कृपा भगवान रामचंद्र कृपा जरूर करते हैं. So this is very important. Okay, let's go to the next verse. Please read the next verse translation.
That was pending purpose.
No, it's okay.
That very Srimad Bhagavatam I shall recite before you because you are the most sincere devotee of Lord Krishna. One who gives full attention and respect to hearing Srimad Bhagavatam achieves unwavering faith in the Supreme Lord, the giver of salvation.
The 11th canto, there is a very nice conversation between Lord and Uddhava, even in the Mahatmya. It is said that Krishna is being questioned by Uddhava. Uddhava, what do I do? Uddhava is asking Krishna, Krishna, what do I do if you are going to leave this world, you are going to wind up your Leela? Because Uddhava knew very well why he is taking them to Prabhas Kshetra. What was the reason to take them to Prabhas Kshetra? They wind up, but why? He could have killed them there in Dwarka itself.
Oh, Lakshmi ji ka
हाँ very close. बोलिए.
द्वारका में लक्ष्मी जी का
हाँ.
तो वहाँ पे कुछ नहीं.
श्राप लग नहीं सकता है. जो श्राप उस ऋषि मुनि ने दिया था, और ऋषि मुनियों ने दिया था सांबा को, वो श्राप द्वारका में नॉट एप्लीकेबल, बिकॉज द्वारका इज डिवाइन वर्ल्ड क्रिएटेड बाय विश्वकर्मा. इट इज नॉट अ पार्ट ऑफ द नॉर्मल अर्थ. भौतिक दुनिया का पार्ट नहीं था. तो दैट इज व्हाई ही हैड टू टेक देम आउटसाइड द्वारका, ताकि वो ब्राह्मण का श्राप लग सके. गुड. माताजी इज बिकमिंग वेरी अटेंटिव. नाइस. Poor Chandrakant is giving katha over there. So, what was I speaking? Uddhava is asking Krishna, Krishna, now you are leaving. He knew Krishna, Uddhava knew very well that Krishna Prabhas Kshetra में लेके जा रहा है, वापस नहीं आएगा. And that is near Veerabal, where that we had gone ना, द्वारका के बाहर तो बाण लगा था ना कृष्ण को सोमनाथ. And come near Veerabal area में आएगा. So he asked, भाई आप जा रहे हो वाइंड अप करने वाले, तो हम क्या करेंगे? What will we do? That time Lord says, don't worry, I am going to what do you say, give life to Bhagavatam. In the form of Bhagavatam, I will be residing in the Bhagavatam. And Acharya say, that is why they say, there's a call. Number. Acharya say, this white part of the paper of Bhagavatam is Radharani. Gori hai na? And Krishna is the black akshar. And that is why Krishna में और भागवत में कोई अंतर नहीं है. Because भागवतम कब लिखा गया भागवतम? When Vyasdev was not happy with all the 14 or the 18 Vedas, 18 Puranas and the 4 Vedas which he had completed. Yes, Prabhu, what was the pravachan? Trial pages. एडिट करना. So after writing the 18 Puranas and writing the 4 Vedas, dividing the 4 Vedas, one Veda into 4 Vedas, he's saying, Vedas is saying, he was sitting sad. क्या करूं समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. इतना सब लिखने के बाद he is sad. He was not satisfied, he was sad. And that time Narad Muni comes. बराबर है. So what you have written is incomplete knowledge. You have, अभी जैसे गणेश पुराण आप देख लो. गणेश पुराण क्या बताएगा? गणेश जी इज सुप्रीम. शिव पुराण लेगा, शिव जी इज सुप्रीम. स्कंद पुराण लेगा तो स्कंदा, that is मुर्गा इज सुप्रीम. So every Purana has its own. Devi Purana lega, Devi Purana, Devi is supreme, and everyone follows. And it is said 6 in the mode of goodness, 6 in the mode of passion, 6 in the mode of ignorance. जैसा आपका देवी पुराण में आपका जो black magic वाला stuff and tantric vidya and all that which comes, that all comes under ignorance. तो एंड आपको पावर चाहिए, ये चाहिए, like you want money, fame, money, rajas, that is all comes under rajas. And sattva में आता है, विष्णु पुराण comes under sattva. But actually Vishnu Purana was not written by Vedas, it was written by Parashar Muni. But since बाप का माल बेटे का, that's a general rule, right? So 17 Puran only Veda Vyas wrote, but 18th Puran was father's gift. So it is said 18, it is said generally. So where was it? So when these 18 Puranas were written and he was sad, I am not justified, I am not satisfied after writing all this. So that's why Narad Muni said, what you have written is you have glorified everything. Acha, every Puran there is mention of the Supreme God, Vishnu, Narayan, in some form or the other. Narsimha Purana bhi hai, Narsimha Purana bhi hai, Brahma Vaivat Brahma Purana bhi hai. So every Puran he has mentioned little bit of Vishnu, Krishna, Rama, whatever you call it, he has mentioned the Supreme God in the various forms has been mentioned. But one soul fully glorifying that is not there. So he said, you write the Bhagavatam. And then he started writing the Bhagavatam. And Bhagavatam also he didn't start talking about God. He talked about Lord's various leelas with his devotees. That is very important. Bhagavatam doesn't start with anything. Kunti Maharani से start होता है, भीष्म पितामह से start होता है. तो अपने भक्तों के साथ भगवान का जो आदान प्रदान था वो start होता है भागवतम में. And then in the 10th canto जाके कृष्ण का जन्म, कृष्ण का लीला, कृष्ण का रास लीला, everything is mentioned so that one becomes mature enough to understand in the 9 cantos. And the 9th canto he is mentioning about the entire Ramayana also. The entire Ramayana is also mentioned in the 9th canto. Mahabharata mentions about Ramayana, you know that? How many people know? Mahabharata also mentions about Ramayana. When Yudhishthira Maharaj is sad, disgusted, क्या फायदा? I was Chakravarti, अब भिखारी बन गया हूँ, ये हो गया. So all rishis, including Markandeya Rishi, tells him, what are you saying? Hey, Supreme God Bhagwan, he could become in one night. अगला दिन सुबह राजा बनना था, जंगल में आ गए. 14 साल तक भटक रहे थे, उसकी बीवी किडनैप हो गई. Was he saying my wife is also kidnapped? No. Draupadi was kidnapped by Dushasan. So he was very upset. Jayadratha. Jayadratha kidnapped Singh. Same in Vimalakund, where we had gone. No? That place only in Vrindavan, Vimalakund mein hi, Jayadratha kidnapped Draupadi when she had come to fill the water. The point what I'm saying is, everyone said, what are you crying? He speaks 2 stories. 2 main stories are spoken. One is Nala Damayanti. One is the story of Nala Damayanti. And second is the story of Ramayana. It tells you what you are speaking of. In Ramayana में क्या आपका भगवान को क्या कम तकलीफ हो? Even he suffered the same as you are suffering now. What you are suffering is very, very less. He has suffered is too much. Lord has suffered too much than what you have suffered. That is how the entire mention of all the troubles or problems which Ramchandra ji faces. So entire Bhagavatam में he has mentioned Ramayana also. So everything mentioned करने के बाद Vedvas was very happy. Yes, now I'm feeling satisfied. I've written the Bhagavatam. And in the meantime, उनका बेटे का सुखदेव गोस्वामी का स्टोरी. What happened? Who was Sukhdev Goswami? Radharani's parrot. And where was he? He was in Vrindavan. But what did say? Radharani said, no, you go and spread the glories of Lord. And said, where will he go? Flying, he went to Amarnath. Amarnath में अमरनाथ गुफा है ना, वहां पे शिव जी इज टॉकिंग टू पार्वती. क्या बात कर रहे? भागवत. बट पूरा भागवतम सुना. कौन? तोता सुना. The parrot or Radharani. And then when Parvati slept, 5-6 cantos she heard, and then she slept. Common. So she slept. तो जैसे सो गई तो our तोता parrot, उसका आदत रहता है ना, you can repeat, you can imitate voices. So it was imitating voice. तो पार्वती सो गई. अगर मैं हाँ नहीं बोला तो फिर शिव जी अगर देखने लगेंगे. So he or she, whatever you call it, the tota was saying So Krishna, Shiva felt Parvati is listening, and he kept on saying. So finally, when he came out of the trance and he saw, hey, Parvati is sleeping. Who said this? Yes, I am listening. देखा तो मालूम पड़ा. It was none other than the parrot. So I am going to kill this parrot. I am going to leave this parrot. He took his trishul, ran behind from Amarnath. Running, came to Badrika. Badrinath ashram, there, on Vyasa Gufa, Vyasa's wife. There is no mention of her name. Arnika Kashta bolke dikhaya. Actually, Kashta means wood actually. Doesn't represent lady's name. But it mentions that she was yawning and Shuka went inside, the parrot went inside her mouth and went directly into the womb and was staying there for 16 years. And Shiva came, no, I'm not going to leave her. So Vyasdev asked, what happened? Shiva told him, this is the situation. See, anyhow, you have given him Amar Katha. Marega nahi. So there is no point of you running behind with your trident. You have spoken about the Supreme God. He did not speak only of Krishna. He did not speak only of Rama. He spoke of all the 24 avatars of Lord. भगवान के 24 अवतारों के बारे में पूरा डिस्कस किया. तो फाइनली व्हेन शिवा सेड ठीक है मैं चाहता हूं. एंड 16 years he is in the mother's womb. Mother is also tired. Father also said, please come out Baba, come. I will not. मैं भागा, माया मुझे पकड़ ली. I am better happy inside my mother's womb only. And he said, on whose word will you come out? Hey, if God comes and tells, I will come out. Then he called Dwarkadish. Dwarkadish came. You come out, Baba, nothing will happen. My Maya will not catch you. Immediately he knew the biggest Maya is your mother and father. You know that? The biggest Maya is your mother and father. And the child is also the biggest Maya for the parents. That's the biggest, that's where the Maya starts. The cycle of Maya starts. My mother, my father. Then थोड़ा बड़ा होने के बाद my girlfriend, my boyfriend. Maybe the couple of boyfriends and then marriage 1, marriage 2, marriage 3. आजकल वो trend है ना. एक marriage का trend नहीं है आजकल. Multiple, divorce 1, divorce 2 ऐसा. So ऐसा सब मतलब that's how our Maya cycle starts. So immediately it just came out of his mother's womb, wound the umbilical cord around his neck and walked away and to the woods. And finally Vyasdev is wondering how to get him back. So he caught hold of some woodcutters. पापा छोड़ेगा नहीं, उसके ऊपर बहुत माल है. कौन सा? Spiritual माल. He had got a lot of spiritual stuff to be given. So he said, get my son back. So he did an idea. Now he is already transcendently grown. Bhakti में आगे बढ़ा है. So he gave 2 verses. भागवत में आते हैं 2 verses. One is No. Varahapidam Natavaru, that shloka. And there is one more verse. About Putna. Aho Bhakyam Stanakalakutam. Aho Bhakyam Stanakalakutam. There are two verses. So ये दो verses, दो तीन ऐसा दो चार verses सिखा दिया उसने carpenters को, that woodcutters को. And wherever they used to cut, वो लोग को भी मालूम नहीं क्या बोल रहे हैं. बरहा पीड़म नटवर बपू काट रहे हैं. So they are doing their thing. That time Shukdev Goswami heard these verses. Who is this person? Bharha Pidam Natavar Bapu is like a dancer with a beautiful, pagdi with peacock feather and all, beautiful looking personality. Dekhna padega. He went and asked the woodcutters, from where did you learn? Who is this person? Do you know? We are not having any idea of who this person is. If you want further details, please contact Mr. Vyasya. So, even they didn't know it was his father. He said, "Aap Vyasdev ko pooch lena." So he went with the woodcutters, went to his father only. Now, father, what are you talking about all this? Who is this person? He said, sit, I'll tell you everything. And that is the time when he gave the entire Bhagavatam to Shukdev Goswami. He gave the entire Bhagavatam to Shukdev Goswami, and Shukdev Goswami learned the entire Bhagavatam from here. Now, here a question arises. If he has already heard the Bhagavatam there's a parrot in Shivji's ashram, then why action replay? Sensible, no? Yeah, Priya Mataji will answer. One thing, very good point. Something more. Yes, that you have to add to that point. Because he was not able to take Sharan because koi bhi janwar Sharan nahi le sakta Guru ka. You need to have a human form to take a shelter of a Guru. So that is the reason why Shukdev Goswami, though in the form of a Shukha, heard it from Shiva's mouth, but still he could not fully assimilate it. That's why he was transcendental. He knew very well that Maya is strong. If I come out in this world, out of my mother's womb, I'll be caught by Maya. But that is the reason why people say, Acharya say, he became a Brahmavadi. He did not become a Sakarvadi. Because he was talking about the glories of Lord, but Bhagavatam speaks about the 10th canto in detail about his birth to leaving this world. The entire Leela of Lord, right from his appearance to disappearance. We can't say Lord's birth, but Lord's appearance to disappearance. That is why Bhagavatam is superior to other Shastra. And it is nothing but the Vedas. See, all three, Ramayana, Mahabharata and Bhagavatam, all three talk about God. Ramayana talks about in which way we should live in this world. Mahabharata gives us the warning, understanding of what the dangers are and how a person has to live and how the divine God saves you time and again, which was demonstrated with the Pandavas. And Bhagavatam, it speaks about not just the Pandavas, it speaks about each and every, right from a Gajendra to Amrish Maharaj, you name it, so many devotees are mentioned. But still higher than that is Bhaktamal, which talks about only Bhaktas, only devotees with Tulsidas ji in the topmost level. That is why he is called as a Manik, the Krishna bead, the top bead, which we don't chant on. That is a bead which we keep always as a mark. So that is how this whole thing was established. We'll continue further next week.